Welcome 122 File Management. Here's what we're doing today. Our goals are to learn about file types, learn how to access files safely, find those hidden files. This is going to be important later in this unit for the project. Pay attention. How to encrypt files and how to learn to search files effectively. We're going to go through about half of this today through step 24. So first thing to do, always click this. It has to open the background. Takes about 5 minutes. So do it right now if you haven't done it already. All right, I've got it going in the background. So all data is a file. In the cyber world, data is transferred around networks and eventually resides in a file on a computer somewhere. Okay, yeah, you got files everywhere, right? So files can be on a small computer, they can be on a server. Everything's a file. We put files all around, right? We have to be careful on how we and when and where we transfer that data, but also take care how we access and store it on a computer. So all your data flying around is in files. But how do we organize the files and what types of files can like exploit our system? Like a little bit of knowledge of how files work is important. And some of you right now, this if you're Windows native, you've been using this a lot. This lesson might be pretty obvious to you or pretty basic, and that's cool. If you're new to Windows or you haven't really thought about a lot of this might be a little new, but it's kind of important basic stuff to understand. So that's what we're going over today. And this is important, especially if you want to figure out if someone put a bad file on your computer or how to identify a bad file and what are the purpose of certain files. And I'll point those out as we go along. So, oh yeah, we're going to learn safety measures for accessing and storing data. Okay, your computer and the files in your computer. So a reminder, yeah, we're dealing with stuff on the security lab right here. But if you do want to try it on your home computer, and you want to like mess around with settings, we're gonna mess with a few settings that I'll tell you what I think is safe. Mess with it in the lab first though, before you mess up your home computer. So some basics of vocabulary if you need these. What is a file? Like files are on your computer. It's what data is stored in. It's like all the little icons. Those are files. So look on my personal computer. Oh, I can't open up that on my personal computer. Share that with you. It's the files. Folders. We put our files in a folder. All right. So if I'm looking at this, these are folders. Inside a folder, we got some files. We got some files in here too. Boom. So that's what it looks like. A process. What's a process? An application file that's currently executing in the operating system. So sometimes a file, we have different types of files. Some files actually run an application and they'll be running in the background. So we call those a process. Database is a collection of files. So like basically a collection of, yeah, okay. And a web page is made up of HTML files. Cool. Launch the lab. Done. Open Activities folder on your desktop and navigate to A122 Files shortcut. Open up Activities. A122 Files. All right, I'm there. You should see a file called Activity122 Content. Notice the zipper on the folder icon. This indicates a special type of file containing other files called a zip file. Yeah, zip files. You might have heard of those before. It's going to be a very common thing if you haven't. Zip files is a file that's kind of like stores a bunch of other files in. And you kind of use it because it'll compress those files to make them smaller. So that if you want to like share it or share it with someone else, you can share this one file to them and it's compressed a little bit, and then you can open up that and they can open up and take out the files if they need them. So very common to see if you want to transfer things. All right, drag and drop this file to move it to your desktop. So I'm gonna take this, drag and drop. So when I say drag and drop, like left click, hold, here, let go. Left click, hold, here, let go. It's okay. I'm doing some of this basics. I don't know how far you know this stuff. So left click, drag, drop. Now I'm going to show you something else. What if you don't want to do it that way? Right click it, because maybe you can't click and drag on your computer. Right click the file, cut, or copy, and then you go right click here, paste. Right click. Now I can go copy. Now I'm going to do cut. Right click, paste. So cut will move the file over. If I wanted to, I'd go copy and go paste. This will make another copy of the file. So if you don't want to lose this one in the original, you can do it that way. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to copy. Sure, why not? Okay, drag and drop this file. To open the zip file, double click on it. In this mode, you can view its contents but not use them. All right, you need to extract them. Okay, so what you can do with zip files, and this, on your home computers, I think modern computers work this way. Modern Windows does. If you have older ones, you haven't updated it, might not. But you double click it, and you get this folder. And so you can see everything in there. Now, you can't, the weird thing is it looks like this file browser right here. It looks like the Windows Explorer right here. But these files, you can't just run them from here. I have to extract these. These are still inside the zip one. I have to extract them, get them out of here. So in the Extract tab, click Extract All. A window opens when you can choose the location of these files. Default location is this Activity122 content on your desktop. Extract the files to the default location. Okay, so I'm going to go to Extract up here. So, okay, so do this again. Double click. I'm going to go to this Extract tab. I can say Extract All. Sure. And then it's going to default right here, Desktop Activity122 content. So what it's going to do, it's going to create a new folder on the desktop and with the same name as the zip file. If I want to change it, I can hit browse, but I don't. So notice this popped up, this folder, Activity122 content, and it actually popped up this other window right there, right? So boom. That's how you extract things. There's other ways to extract things. I'm going to show you a little other shortcut. If you just had like one file, you can highlight all these and left click and drag, and it'll take these out. But it didn't make a folder for you, so if there's multiple files, you probably don't want to do that. I'm going to just delete these. So that's another option too. You don't have to do it that way. Again, and then I don't need the zip file anymore, so I'm going to trash it. So I got this folder where all my stuff. I'm actually close that one too. I have too many things open. Okay. In the File Explorer, you should see Activity122 content directory and its contents. It should contain the 3 files, right? So boom, 3 files. Got it. Note in the activity content folder is referred to as the parent folder of this content and is displayed in 2 places in the File Explorer, in the title window and address bar. Okay, what they're trying to say is, hey, when you open up, so this folder icon that we call this, and this thing, we call it like Windows Explorer. Windows Explorer. It's the folder thing. Okay? And so what they're trying to say here is, hey, if you want to see what folder you're in, the name of the folder will be right up here. Also, you see how it says the same name right here? Well, if you click it once, so like the default, it's trying to make it look nice to you, so not see the whole name. They're trying to make it simple. But if you want to see what the full like file path is, you click this once and you'll see it's in the C drive, users, administrator, desktop, content. You can also click this arrow. Oh, I don't know. Now, does this go over? Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit more because maybe you're like, what does all that mean? All right, watch this. I'm taking this slow today. All right, I'm going to assume. What does this mean by C drive? Let's back this up. What I want you to do, you can right-click this. I'm going to open up another File Explorer. I think File Explorer, right? So I'm going to right-click it and click File Explorer. Let's open up another one. So the default location is this PC. I got these drives, right? I'm going to go to this location. I'm going to go to my C drive right here. So this is like your main hard drive here. You might have a C drive at a computer at home. You might have a D drive. You might have multiple hard drives, whatever. And then I'm going to go to users. And then I think the next one was administrator. And then desktop. And then here's that folder. So I can browse to it that way too. Just wanted to show you that's how you can get to it. So there you go. Maybe it doesn't matter to you. It's okay. To open the welcome file, double click on it. Describe what happens. Okay. Okay. What happened? It opened up another window and said, warning, do you know this file wasn't executable? Just ran a program, you might have been hacked. Lame. I got hacked. That's what I would say. Let's see, a window. So a window popped up. I got hacked. Double click to open important message 1. Describe what happens. Okay, I'm gonna close that. Warning, a file executed. Press any key to, I got a file executed. I got a window pop up. It's a black window this time. This is I think it's called the Windows, the command. What's it called? The black windows. This is like the command prompt right here. What do we call this? Command prompt. It's got called it command prompt. It said a program was executed. That means it's running. So, those are both bad. Double click to open important message 2. Okay. Oops, another file executed. Oh, geez. Are you getting cautious? Nope, because I just listened to Project Lead the Way. Why? I trust my teacher. He said to do this program. If you are, good for you. What? So the point of all this is, hey, certain programs, if you just open them and you don't know where they're from, could run stuff on your computer. Like those were different types of processes that can run, or executable files, not executables, but they run on your computer and they can do bad things. As soon as you've been instructed to open these files, our intention has been to make you suspicious. Rather than using the provided download file, you have downloaded these files from a website. It should be so quick to open these files. Yeah, if you just downloaded this from some random website or you got some random email, would you just open those files? Hopefully not, right? And this is just to show you that, yeah, you could get files from people that are not just a picture or just like a PDF document or maybe something tame. They can be something that runs on your computer and does stuff to it. Now, one at a time, right-click on these files and answer the question, can you identify any menu items that might allow you to examine these files instead of just automatically open them? So let's say I had these, and you can right-click them. And, okay, so if you right-click these, and are there any items in here that maybe helps you identify them? I could probably look at properties. I'd look at the properties. Is that the answer? Either open with, edit, this lets you examine the file before opening it. Oh. Or I would do, okay. You can do open with, you can do edit. I would look at properties though. So a neat thing here, yeah, if you do edit on certain types of files, you can actually edit these. And they might open these in like a Windows as a text file instead. So instead of this running it, if I do edit, it'll open a text file. Okay. Keep going. File extensions. One way to predict file behavior and manage security files, always know the file extensions. Like different file extensions, if you double click on them, will do different things, right? What's a file extension? All right. In the activity, click the View tab folder. This tab gives you a variety of options viewing the Windows file system. I'm going to click the View tab. So you're up here. Uh-oh. Stop lagging. Click that View tab. Now you get a little options about how to view your icons right here. From now on, the file explorer is okay. In the show hide panel, check the box for file name extensions to enable the attribute. So one thing you want to do to keep your computer safe, and I would be okay doing this at home, go to the View tab and check file name extensions. This will change, so you saw at the very end there. So this is called welcome, right, for that, for example, and then file name extensions, welcome.hta. Now this puts the extension at the end. The extension is like a dot and like a few letters. Usually it's like 3 letters. I think it can be more. I think it could be less too. Fewer or more. It's this the extension tells you what type of file it is. It tells Windows what type of file. So it tells it what to run if I double click on it. So I have a .bat, .vbs, and .hta file right there. All sorts of different file extensions are out there that do different things. So if we're in person or for your homework in my class, do some research on file extension lists and list a bunch out. .bat, .doc, .txt. You have file extensions that represent a video, that represent a picture, that represent a text document or a Word document. Some are like specific to a certain program, like .doc is Microsoft Word document, or .exls or XLS would be an Excel file. Even PDF is for Adobe PDF reader, but I don't know if it's a little bit more generic nowadays. I don't know. But some are kind of generic, like .txt. Like a lot of programs run text files. Those are text files. Okay. So understanding those different file extensions will help you realize, hey, this is just a picture, or this is going to run something on my computer, right? Now that you know a bit more about what file extensions mean, you might not be surprised these files behave differently. So these are different. These files right here, .bat, VBS, and HTA. These are programs that will run processes on your computer. This is even right here. I don't know if the lesson goes in this. This is a Windows batch file .bat. So I run this. It runs basically a list of commands through the Windows command prompt. Visual Basic script, VB script. This is a common way that hackers sneak things in your computer. And this seems HTA. I'm not exactly sure what that is. HTML application. So some website-based thing. Maybe the lesson explains it. Let's keep going. In the Windows operating system, file extensions directly control what can be done with the file. If you change the file extensions, you can change what the OS does to it. Right-click the welcome.hta file and rename it as a text.hta. Okay, so right-click this one and go to rename. Now I can change this at the end and go .txt and then hit enter. It's going to yell at you. Are you sure you want to change it? Yeah, I don't care. Notice it changed what the icon looks like. It looks like a notepad. A warning should appear. Double-click the welcome text to open it with the default method. Notice the default behavior has changed. So remember when I right-clicked it and I said edit? And then it kind of opened up. You saw the text. Well, now I can just double-click and I'll see the text right there. There you go. So now this is showing me the HTML text. If you don't know HTML, you got these things. You ever do right-click and inspect a website? You'll see stuff that looks like this. So it's just website text programming in a way. It's not really programming, but sure, programming. Welcome. Earlier, when you perform this, the default open to welcome. It's this HTA and it executed the file. Now it just opens this in the text editor. Similarly, change the original extensions for VBS to .txt. The other ones. Okay, let's change the other ones. Let's go rename. Yep, I'm going to change them all to text files. I think I have to change them all. That's what I said. Sure. And notice I got to, yeah. No. Not done yet. Oh. Well, fat fingering that. Yes. Okay. They're all text files. Observe the contents of these files. Notice they all seem to be a similar purpose. So if I double click this one, okay, title echo off, title another warning, warning file executed. Okay, so that echo stuff probably makes it give me a warning of some sort. This one message popped up a message box that said, oops, another file executed. Okay, cool. Observe the contents. Each of these files is an executable script using a different programming language to display the message. Okay. So one thing people do at 14, this is real important. Sometimes malicious users often use script files, these are what script files were, to run malware. Extension disguises executables. They can trick the user. One of the ways they do this is use a double extension. So here's what they do. People will name something like welcome.txt. They're going to name it welcome.txt.hta. So watch what happens. I'm going to rename this one to welcome.txt.hta. All right. So it looks like, oh, welcome.txt. And imagine you're someone, I'm going to uncheck file name extensions. Imagine you don't have that checked. And you see welcome.txt, oh, text file. Okay. And maybe you ignore that doesn't look like a text file. You think, oh, Windows just messed up or something. Oh, it's just text file. I'll go read that text file. I double click. Oops, executable. I'm hacked. Same thing if this was a picture file. I mean, that's I got hit by one of these before years ago. I opened up something I thought was a picture. It wasn't. It was an executable. My email got hacked. It was annoying. So you got to watch out for that. That's why we go through view and we check file name extensions to see those. You want to be able to see view again, file name extensions. Boom. In the view tab, deselect the checkbox. Okay, I just did all that, double check. So I only did it for one, but you get the point. You can do it for all of them. Carefully observe the contents of the folder without displaying file name extensions. Can you find a clue? So, okay, all these steps here are what I just did. So the icon for the file is not always the standard. If that doesn't look like the text file icon, like I said here, hey, it didn't look like, that's a hint that, might not be right. Other thing is the type column. Yes, type column says this is not text document, HTML application. So those are things that you can see if you didn't have the extension there. Some things to kind of watch out for. All right, I'm going to scroll on. I think I talked about all that stuff there, the basic idea. And this is how people can hack you. So this is stuff to watch out for. I mean, especially for people, this is stuff you can take home. You have like family members that aren't as tech savvy or friends. You got to watch out for stuff like this. File ownership. File ownership is another important part of data security. Valid files are those owned by legitimate users of the computer. If the owner of a file is suspicious or invalid, the file becomes suspicious, possibly hiding malware. By default, File Explorer does not show you ownership, but you can customize it. Okay, so this is something else to check out. All right, so let's try this. I'm going to go in the Activities folder. You can see it, File Properties. Okay, see all the properties on the top, right? Name, dun, dun, dun. Okay, we got some properties. Now, those are some of the default ones, but we can add others. I'm going to right-click the column headings. Just right-click up here somewhere. And you can add more tags. Which one do we want to tag? In the right-click menu, click More, and then Owner. Okay, so there's tags if you want to say when date was created. So date modified's here. Maybe you want to know when the file was created. I don't know who authored, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go to More because that's what they say. And a bunch of things are on here. So we're going to go find owner. That's what they want to do. Find the owner. Owner. A lot of random things on there. P.O. box? What? What? I guess you can have all sorts of tags. What? Okay, owner's up here. And this says the owner of those files is Windows 12 R2/administrator. Okay. In a scrolling list like this, you can typically find the feature letters. You own these files, and the owner column displays their username. What's the username? This is the username. Administrator. Okay. The leftmost panel of the File Explorer, navigate to this PC local disk C. Wait, did I skip something? We want to find owner. Okay. Okay, so they aren't very, okay. Right now, I am logged in as someone named administrator. So what this is saying, I don't, out of this, please. Thank you. Okay. There we go. So since this says, hey, I'm the one that owns these files because I'm the one that extracted these. So I put these on the computer. That's good to know. I'm logged in as administrator. I put these on the computer. I own these files. Okay. That's what it's saying. Leftmost panel of File Explorer, navigate to this PC, local disk C. So this PC, see here, this is how you can browse through things. Local disk C, left click it once. Where all the files in your computer reside. Add the owner column to this view. Okay, so I guess we have to do this for every one of these? That's kind of lame. They said there's the trick here is you can go OW, you type OW, it'll scroll straight to that. Okay, now there's different owners here. This begins a list of trusted users. So there's a bunch of administrators, trusted installer, system. Okay, these are things I can trust. Sure. Oh, yeah. Those of you in the Zoom meeting right now? Yeah, it's getting close to the end. If you want to dip out, no problem. I'm going to keep going, though. Doing this live on Zoom. All right, record the owners. Great. So these are probably legitimate people. So these are users I can trust. What we're doing is we're building a list of users I can trust because then I might know, oh, if I see an owner that I like, who is that person? I go, that could be a bad file. As the user or administrator of the computer, you should know the other legitimate users. Okay, and you might know that for a home PC, but this is like a school PC, you wouldn't know. But yeah. All right, last step. Hidden encrypted files. In the Windows operating system, there are files used by applications which are never intended to be seen by users. They are mostly configuration files, and users don't really need them. Occasionally, malware can hide. So sometimes, like, you don't see every file on here. There's a lot of ones that are hidden. It's just because there's usually it can be legit because it's files that Windows you're not going to open, and they don't want you messing with, and so they just want to hide things. But people that like um, programs that want to hide, and maybe they're malware, can use that property to hide from you as well. So sometimes it's nice to be able to hide garbage or stuff behind the scenes you don't want to pay attention to, but hackers can use that to also hide files. So we're going to demonstrate that. In File Explorer, navigate to the activities A21 files. So close everything out, A22 files, and select the View tab. Okay, I'm going to select the View tab. Okay. In the Show Hide panel, click the box for hidden items. A new folder called Secret appears. Okay, so you know how we hit the View tab last time and we did file name extensions? Now we want to add hidden files. What? A new folder just appeared called Secret. Malicious users often hide malware. Another way to hide or disguise data is directly encrypt a file. Encrypt is basically you're like putting a password on a file and you're like making it so people just can't open it and do anything with it without having like the secret key. Encryption adds another security level. You can use it to store sensitive data. You should also encrypt files that contain sensitive data if you plan to email. Like, you know, it's like putting a password on stuff. That's what encryption is. All right. So encrypt disguise or hide data. So sometimes they might put things on here. You know how we like the other ones that were bad, we just double clicked them, we open them up, or we right clicked and went open them as text and we could see what's going on. But sometimes like bad programs can just encrypt that so you can't even see what's going on. So choose one of the folders in the secret folder and right click it. So in the folder, I'm going to right click one of these folders in here. What does it want me to do? Select properties in the menu item. So right click, go to properties. And notice the hidden attribute. This indicates the item is hidden. You can also hide or show files. So it is hidden, it's checked. All right. If you right click, you can, well, duh, it's hidden. Okay, because we had to do this. Now we go to advanced. And what do I want me to do? Check the box for encrypt contents to secure data and click OK. And click OK. All right. Click OK in the properties window. You should be seeing a warning about applying the encrypt attribute to subfolders. Select apply changes to this folder only. Okay, so we hit OK. And then to this folder only. Okay, I've encrypted the attribute. Okay. Cool. See a Windows warning about encryption keys, dismiss it. Oh, that thing. Who cares? Okay, so I encrypted that. One thing you'll notice is it looks green. Now, these are like a little lighter because they're hidden files. Describe how the file system features double extensions. All right, so we learned how to encrypt files. Cool. That's it, folks. We'll do the second part later. See ya.